Okay, time now, 17:03:25, 44 degrees Fahrenheit, 29 gallons on board, accelerating to V.
8 Kilo Bravo, verify 2 miles southeast of
Max.
Jackson Airport.
Position check, 8 Kilo Bravo.
This will be a flaps at 0 decel run to the stall.
Correct, Pippin, 8 Kilo Bravo.
Departure Bromar 22, runway heading 3000.
Decel displays up.
Radar contact, say request.
We'll take it up to 180 indicated. Actually a little faster. There we go, 180 indicated, and standby data mark 3, 2, 1.
19, we're going to be
Data mark.
Local
All right, VMAX. Top of the green arc, airspeed tone.
Maintain 3000.
Power is coming back.
3000, Bomar 22.
This will be a flaps 0 condition test.
Bomar 22, traffic southeast.
On a heading of 100.
22, 4,500, we'll be descending VFR and then to egg 1.
Top of the green band. And getting our nominal 1 knot per second here, Lenny. Working the middle of the green band now, or trying to. Best I can. Accepting a little bit of an altitude loss. Trying to work the 1 knot per second, down about 100 feet.
8 Kilo Bravo, climb, maintain at 3,000, fighting 09, Joe.
3000, 090, 8 Kilo Bravo.
52 X-ray, fighting 260.
Back pressure.
Shadow 71, contact egg mission 135.25.
Shadow 71, 135.25.
Bomar 22, turn right heading 340, contact egg arrival 124.25.
340 and over to arrival, Bomar 22.
And stall. Okay, power's coming up. Back up to 5. We'll hook for our next run. We'll get another
Kilo
VF.
Bravo, continue climb to 1000.
Yep, continue climb 11,000, 8 Kilo Bravo.
8 Kilo Bravo, traffic 12 o'clock, 3 miles, maneuvering is a Cessna 2,000 feet VFR.
Looking at 8 Kilo Bravo.
51 Romeo, traffic west to your position, 3 miles, eastbound to 22, climbing at 2,000 feet.
51 Romeo is turning north now.
Roger.
All right, we'll get accelerated, and then we'll hook.
52 X-ray.
We're gonna do the next run. Just I'm gonna hold a steady altitude, Lenny. We're gonna see what that does to our decel rate.
Tagline approach, player 30 is with you.
And hooking left to heading at 270. Time now, 17:06:17. 43 degrees, 28.7 on board, flaps 0 condition, accelerating to VMAX. In a left turn now to heading at 270. Accelerating at about 1 knot per second, according to the gauge. Coming up on VMAX. So tell you what, we're going to roll out on a heading of 280.
Roger, 8 Kilo Bravo.
Data mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
All right, there's VMAX.
8 Kilo Bravo, clear direct, Pippin.
Correct, Pippin, 8 Kilo Bravo.
And beginning deceleration. Just holding the altitude this time, Lenny. Keeping us in the top of the green band, which is fine. See how far we get out of the green band with this technique.
One egg on approach, Roger. Information Romeo, current side request.
Actually working pretty well, dude. I think this one is actually better than the last run. Take this all the way into the stall. And there she goes.
Hornet 1, side request.
Okay. Winds aloft are out of the southwest at about 30, taking us eastbound.
Hornet 1, Roger.
So we'll climb back up and we'll hook for our next run.
Hornet 1, firm straight into 1-2.
We'll get another one of those. We're going to use the same technique on the next one. And then we'll Configure flaps 20 and flaps 40, Lenny.
52 X-ray cleared on course.
On course, 52 X-ray.
All right, temps are looking normal. Oil's about 162. Big dog eat here. Put a little west in the bank because all the wind's aloft. Actually a little bumpier than what I'd like for this kind of work, but we're gonna be all right.
Mama 2, I'd approach, Roger, start request. Mama 2, Roger, you expect that, and expect your IFR pickup in a few miles. Clear 30, turn right,
High
heading
speed cruise
150.
condition for now.
Clear 30150.
Been airborne 10 minutes, 13 seconds.
Clear 30, maintain 5,000.
Time now 17:09:20. 43 degrees, 28.3 on board, heading 280. And hooking left, we're heading at 090.
Maintain at 7,000, cleared.
Accelerating to VMAX. Rolling out on a heading of 100, time now 17:09:52. 43 degrees Fahrenheit, 28.2 on board, data mark 3, 2, 1.
Mama 1, you're cleared
Data mark.
and via direct to Warrington, and then depart Warrington heading 340, climb, maintain at 4,000.
All right, there's VMAX, power's coming back.
Mama 2, affirmative.
Mixture's back. And
I'm going to approach
outside of the green band right now.
Jedi 378, going to approach, Roger,
As I'm
running
letting the
clear.
altitude drift down, my bad. Should have just held what we had. Showing closer to 2 knots per second decel right now.
21, flighting 280.
There's 1.5. Now we're back down to 1, Lenny. Can't run the Wi-Fi test today because I still haven't fixed that second SSID name. Just using the round dials right now as my primary reference. Green band is looking good.
41, descend and maintain at 2,000.
Again, we're at FAR 23 stall warning, so we got way more than we're normally used to here. And there's our stall.
8 Kilo Bravo, climb, maintain 1,000.
Probably say 11,000, 8 kilo Bravo.
Coming back up. Got pretty good winds aloft, so we'll just start our run on a heading at 280. We'll get one more of those VMAX runs. We're getting good tough data, good tough film rather, at the same time, so all this is helpful. Coming left to heading at 280, there's 5,000 feet. Time now 17:11:45. 42 degrees Fahrenheit. 28.1 on board. Accelerating now for a flaps 0 decel run. Winds aloft showing 280.25. Data mark up, not fast enough yet. Stand by.
Hornet 1 in traffic. 1 o'clock, 10 miles southeast, PC 12, 5,000. Clear 30 traffic southeast, your position 8 miles northwestbound. 5222 sending on 5,500.
Coming up on red line. Alright, stand by, data mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
Contact tunnel approach.
Power's coming back.
Is that for 8 kilo Bravo?
8 Kilo Bravo, affirmative. Tunnel approach 125.2.
Working better on the altitude control this time.
Hornet 1 able to report egg limit site.
Mixture's adjusted. We're trimmed to 90, steady up 280. A little bit north of the green band right now, so that means a high deceleration rate. I'm going to put a little bit more back pressure in, and we're going to decrease that. Now we're back in the green band. Top of the green band, so about 9.5 per second. And That's interesting. Got a little intermittent no data condition there. Still 9.5, Lenny.
Mama 2, contact Aoa.
Now we're in the band nicely.
Mama 2, if you're still up before you go, traffic north of your position, 6 miles southbound. Texan to 4,500.
Alright.
Jedi 37, traffic
Looking
southeast
left.
to your position, 5 miles northwestbound, single 238, 4,000.
Back up to 5,000
For
feet.
traffic, Jedi 37.
We'll square this corner.
Descend to maintain 3,000.
Traffic in sight, Jedi 37.
3,000.
Get one more run going eastbound. Time now, 17:13, 57, 42 degrees Fahrenheit, 27.8 on board.
Jedi 37, reset transponder, squawk 5.
Camera 1's good. Camera 2's good. Boom is good. Rolling on a heading 090, beginning acceleration run. This time I'm going to fly the green band pretty much exclusively. We'll accept a little altitude deviation.
Clear 30270.
We'll let her go to 170. That's actually fast enough to expedite this run.
They're going to approach 51 Romeo. We'd like to go up to about 2 miles north of White Point orbit and then back to Destin.
All right, stand
51
by.
Romeo, Roger, please requesting.
Data mark 3,
51 Romeo, thank you.
2,
Hornet
1.
maintain 2,100 until Brooksburg.
Data mark.
Power's coming back.
Hornet 1 in contact, tower channel 4 today.
Actually doing whatever it takes to stay in the green band.
Clear 313, descent to 2,000.
Clear 30, continuing descent 2,000.
And I'm kind of flying the green band like a localizer right now, Lenny.
Jedi 37 is beginning our westbound turn.
Doing my best.
Echo comment approach, say again.
Keep you right on the 0 line.
Jedi 37, Roger.
Got a little vibration in the M5 display, that's normal. So we pull the trend line just like we do on the AOA display. Doing the best I can with pitch. Keep you right at 1 knot, not even paying attention to altitude right now. We are descending. I think we'll be within 500 feet of start. By the time we get to stall, we're going to find out.
Takeoff approach Jedi 37, request descent 500 ATL, so it goes down.
Down about 300 feet so far, Lenny. Saw this the last time we tried this.
Jedi 37, maintain vehicle about 2,500 for now.
Down at or above 2,500 Jedi 37.
There's a stall. That's right up to the edge, not even a real deep stall. All right, let's hook back to heading out east. Back up to 5,000 feet. We're gonna slow down, deploy flaps. Camera 1 checks good. Camera 2 checks good. Boom checks good. There's VFE. Flaps 20 are deployed. Climbing back up. Coming around to heading of a 280, lots of wind in this direction, so we can work several legs this way. Actually, we'll roll out initially on a heading of 270. Coming up on 5,000 feet. Let's accelerate. We're going to start these runs at 100 indicated.
Clear 30, turn right 10 degrees.
Clear 30, right turn 10 degrees.
All right, time now, 17:10, 42 degrees Fahrenheit, 27.5 on board.
Your discretion, contact
Coming up on 100.
26.5 for your westbound transition.
Check right 10 degrees to 280, there's 100.
Our discretion over to Hurlbut Tower.
Data mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
All right, power is coming back. Maintain altitude on this one. Oh, that's interesting. Flaps just retracted. Okay, knock it off, knock it off, knock it off. Back in the lock.
Clear 30, clean option, maintain VFO with the tower.
There's 100.
Clear 30, will maintain VFO with tower.
Okay, time now, 17:53. 41 degrees Fahrenheit, 27.4 on board. Standby data mark. 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
Flaps 20 condition. Power is coming back. And begin. beginning run using the altimeter on this. Trimmed to about 80 in this condition.
X-ray contact comes close. Approach 119.0, good day.
119.0, 5 to X-ray, thanks.
Band's not looking too bad. Alright, AOA only recovery. Do a couple of tests at the end of this just to demonstrate that AOA only recovery. All right, still steady up on a heading of 280, time now 17:18:50, 41 degrees Fahrenheit, 27.4 on board. Accelerate, VFE, stand by, data mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
Power is coming back. And using the altimeter on this one. We can get one more on this heading. Winds aloft are currently 255 at 30. All right, time now 17:19:52, 41 degrees Fahrenheit, 27.3 on board. Standby, data mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
Heading 280, flaps 20 condition. Power is coming back. Again, I'm using the altimeter on this one, Lenny. Showing about 2 knots per second right now. And as we approach the stall, she comes back into the green arc nicely. That kind of characterizes all these runs.
Hornet 2, Roger, squad 0270.
Let's get another one of those. And this time we'll try to be a little more green arc centric and a little less altimeter centric. All right, time now 17:20:42, 41 degrees Fahrenheit, 27.2 on board. Heading 280. Standby, data mark.
330, copy, 330, so established at 2000. Clear the ILS, runway 36.
Hornet 2, your radar contact 6 miles southeast of Egg 1, flight heading 180, vectors for the taxi.
Data mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
All right, power's coming back. Using the green arc this time.
VFR above 2,100.
So, doing my best for the 1 knot per second, Lenny. There's our nominal 1 knot per second. Got a little downtrend. A little bit too much back pressure. No, not enough back pressure.
Hornet 2, Roger, after clearing your option, maintain vehicle to tower, turn right heading 270.
Down about 100 feet.
Air approach 51 Romeo, going to return to Destin now.
Outside 7 Bravo Romeo, returning back Destin.
51 Romeo, returning to Destin, Destin inside.
51 Romeo, Roger, stand by.
All right, oil's starting to get pretty cool.
You have hotel.
I don't have hotel, I'll get it.
51 Romeo, decimal runway 14, wind estimated 160 at 7, visibility 10, altimeter 3008.
Back up, stay in the flaps 20 condition.
All right, 51 Romeo, thank you very much.
We're gonna get one more of those using the green arc.
18.45.
Go to tower, 1845.
And I'm heading at 270 now. All right, time 17:22:23. 41 degrees Fahrenheit, 27.1 on board, heading 270. Standby, data mark.
Slayer 30, Twitter Tower, see you.
Data mark 3, 2, 1.
Hornet 2, turn right heading 300.
Data mark.
All right, power's coming back. All right, a little relax on the stick there, works.
Hornet 2, contact
At the start of the deceleration. Working my best to keep it in the middle of the green arc, Lenny. I'm pretty much glued to the green arc right now. Showing 0.6 about 100, 200 feet on those. Okay, let's go back up. Leave the flaps 20 condition set. We'll get one more of those. Been airborne 24 minutes and 30 seconds. Camera's gonna be our primary limb fact. Camera 1's good. Camera 2 is good. Boom is good. In the right turn now. The heading of 100. All right, leveling at 5,000 feet pressure altitude. Accelerating on out, steady up. Okay, time now, 17:24:02. 41 degrees Fahrenheit, 27 gallons on board. Oil's getting cool. Kind of heading a 100. Flaps 20 condition down to Mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
And beginning deceleration. Using the green arc again, Lenny. And if we want to think about damping this a little bit more, or not. And as is typical, lost about 150 feet based on using the green arc. Okay, one more time, flaps 20. Got a couple of flaps 40. Climbing back up to 5 on a heading of 100. All right, time now, 17:25:22, 42 degrees Fahrenheit, 26.9 on board. Checking right to heading of 110 for airspace. There's 5,000 feet. Coming up on VFA. Stand by, down to Mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
All right, beginning decel. In the green arc.
Comma 1 Roger, maintain 2,100 until further advised by the tower for a flight inbound for the TAC and runway 12.
All right, looking pretty good
Tower
on
1
this
contact
one.
tower channel 4.
Using the green arc as my primary reference. Definitely need more back pressure as we get closer to the stall. All right, and into the stall. Okay, let's go up. Slow speed. There's a flaps 40 condition. We're in a flaps 40 condition now. Let's start a easy right hook. We're heading a 270. We're gonna climb back up. Using a little power here to warm the oil up. Showing 151 degrees. All right. Camera 1 checks good. Camera 2 checks good. Boom is good. Cylinder head temperatures are nice and cool. There's our 5,000 feet. We're going to use 90 just to be kind to the flaps for our start speed for these flaps 40. There's our 90 rolling out on a heading of 270. Time now, 17:27:15, 41 degrees Fahrenheit, 26.7 on board, on condition. Data mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
Okay, just gonna use the altimeter for this one. There's our stall. Aoa Recovery. Power's coming up. There's a 90 condition. Nose is coming back up. And checking right to heading a 280. Let's set up for our next one. All right, time now, 17:28:15, 41 degrees Fahrenheit, 26.7 on board, accelerating to 90 indicated. There's our 90 indicated. Data mark 3, 2, and a little slow. Data mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
Power's coming back again, using the altimeter on this one, Lenny. Good one. Aoa only recovery, and power's up. Plenty of real estate with the Winslow off going this way. Let's climb back up. Checking the throat, 70 degrees. I'm gonna leave this on throat temperature right now. Kind of a carb ice day. Checking right to heading at 280. There's our altitude.
1600 runway head.
Accelerate.
42 on the flight, Roger, when you blade up.
Speed 42 with flash.
Okay, time 17:29:25.
Contact 3 miles south for confirm you're looking to pick up
41 degrees Fahrenheit.
Affirm for speed 42, mission number 3759.
26.5 fuel on board. Stand by airspeed.
242.
Flaps 40 condition. Data mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
All right, steady up 285. Using the green arc for this one. In the green arc. There's our little bit of relax that we need to start this thing off. And now I'm just chasing it. Kind of all over the map here. Plus or minus at least a half knot. And lots of back pressure as we roll into the stall. There's our stall. Okay, AOA only recovery. And back up we go. So RV has no trouble climbing with full flaps and partial power.
432 Tango Sierra checking in at 2,700.
432 Tango Sierra.
Well, it's looking good at 158. Carb throat's good. Camera 1's good. Camera 2's good. Boom is good. On heading at 270 now. One more flaps 40 going this way. There's our 5,000 feet. And beginning our acceleration. Okay, time now, 17:30. Actually, 17:31 at 04. 41 degrees Fahrenheit. 26.4 on board, flaps 40 condition. Standing by for the airspeed, a little low. We'll fix our altitude. All right, parameters are looking good. Data mark 3, 2, 1.
Contact mission 135.
Data mark.
All right.
3525.
Green arc.
Switching seat.
Relax. So a little relax at the very start of the run, and then start to put your back pressure in. Seems to work really well as a technique, at least with this airplane. And then as you get close to the stall, pretty smooth increase required to keep it in the green band. And there's our stall. AOA only recovery. Power's coming up, nose is translating back up. And a flaps 40 condition. We'll hook to heading east. Get one more of those. Just using a nominal 22.5 inches to climb here. Leveling off at 5,000 feet, accelerating to 90. We're going to keep the hook coming to about 100 heading. All right, there we go. Steady up 100. Time now, 17:32:37. 41 degrees Fahrenheit, 26.3 on board. Data mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
Relax just a little bit in the green band. And work in the green band. Obviously, we're bleeding less airspeed, so we're losing less altitude overall on these flap runs. And like everything else, easier to fly the flap runs than it is without. A little more back pressure. happy. You're only averaging a half knot. So let's go back up. We'll get one more of those. And then we're going to do some takeoff and departure stalls into the turn just to kind of demo that maneuver. Okay, checking right to heading of 110 for airspace. On altitude, time now 17:34.06. 42 degrees Fahrenheit, 26.2 on board, 3510 elapsed. Parameters, data mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
Lapse 40 condition, power is coming back. And working the green band. Working the green band, looking pretty good. Not bad. Probably the best one so far. And there's our brake. Alright, Aoa Recovery. Okay, we're gonna retract the flaps. Let's hook to a heading at 270. We're gonna go back up. Tell you what, we're gonna stay at 4,500 feet. And the first demo, just gonna be a normal takeoff and departure stall. And we're gonna be at full power. And we're going to just show you what the nose high attitude looks like with that. So, time now, 17:35.12, 43 degrees Fahrenheit, 26.1 on board, heading 280. Standby data mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
Okay, nose is coming up, power's coming up, mixture is rich. We're going to go to about 45 degrees nose high, full power. There's full power, feet are on the horizon. 45 degrees nose high and over the top. So pretty significant pitch translation, okay? Even with power on, we're to at least 15 degrees nose low. When we recover from that, let's just demo one more of those because everybody's talking about the partial power takeoff stall. We'll do some of those in just a bit, but this is a real no shitter. Okay, time now, 17:35.59, 43 degrees Fahrenheit, 26.1 on board. 4.5 pressure altitude, translating the nose up, standby data mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
All right. Power's coming up, nose is coming up. There's our 45 degrees. Okay. Lots of yaw, even with full power. And angles equals angles, so at least 30 degrees nose low for a nice smart recovery on that. Now that's because we got a very low power loading. We can generate a really high nose high attitude in this airplane. So now let's do the same thing, and we're gonna simulate a Cessna 172. I'm gonna do that just by using reduced power. So I'll set maybe 21 inches of manifold pressure and about a 500 foot per minute VVI rate of climb and about 20 degrees nose high. That's about what we're going to see in a typical light plane. I'm not sure. I'll defer to Mike and some of the other guys as far as what kind of an attitude you're going to have, and we will noodle around with the Cherokee to find that as well. Okay, 4,500 feet, time now, 17:37.17, 44 degrees Fahrenheit, 25.9 on board, 3820 elapsed, camera's good, throat is good, oil temperature's back up. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and set about 20 degrees nose high, 21 inches. Just hold that pitch attitude. Hopefully we won't fly into the clouds before we stall, we'll see. And realize I forgot the data mark. It's all right, let's just continue with the maneuver. And actually need more pitch. Okay. So that's going to take about 25 degrees of pitch. Let's just head down hook and get set up for something similar to that. All right, there's our 4,500 feet. Camera 1 check's good. Camera 2 check's good. And the boom is good. All right. Steady up on a heading of 100. Either need less power or more pitch to pull this off. So we'll go with more pitch. About 25 degrees. All right. Time now, 17:38. 38, 43 degrees Fahrenheit, 25.8 on board. Standby, data mark. 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
All right, nose is coming up. We'll start our power application at about 20. Here we go. It's about 30 degrees of pitch. Whoops. 21 inches. Rudder. And there's our stall. And about 30 degrees nose low. Okay. Now, let's do a stall, but this time, let's simulate a power loss. Time now, 17:39:16. 44 degrees Fahrenheit, 25.8. 4,500 feet pressure altitude. We're sculling 105 degrees. All right. Data mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
All right, nose is coming up. Nominal 20 degrees nose high. Cessna climb. Well, actually, that's probably pretty healthy for a Cessna. Go up here. Simulate a power loss. Okay, there's our recovery. Now I'm AOA only on the recovery. And now I'm smoothly rolling into 45 degrees of bank. And I'm increasing back pressure. That's kind of what I'm proposing for the recovery technique. Power's in idle, and you can do a 180 degree turn, 210, 270, it doesn't matter. That's 210 degrees. Okay, let's go back up to 4,500 feet, do that again. That, Chris, is kind of what I'm proposing for our takeoff and departure stall maneuver. And it would be totally cool if you would try that in a Cirrus. We're at 41:38 elapsed. There's our 4,500 feet. Do another one of those. Time now, 17:40, 47, 44 degrees Fahrenheit, 25.7 on board. We're at about 20 inches of manifold pressure. Let's bring the power back. Data mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
15 inches of manifold pressure. Nose is coming up to 20 degrees. Airspeed's bleeding. Power's coming up to about 21 inches. Power's on, in the climb. Worst case scenario, there's an engine failure right there. There's a stall. AOA only recovery, coordinated, into 45 degrees of bank. So as I do this, I've got to get back pressure in. I'm on my FAR 23 stall warning criterion, and 210 degrees of turn. And off we go. Again, caveman simple, I'm listening to my AOA, so it's kind of hard for me to ham fist the airplane. It'll be interesting to see how that works in a Cirrus, where you don't have that much AOA SA. If you don't, I'm not sure. All right, let's hook left now to heading at 270. We'll do another couple of those. And these are no flap. I'll add some flaps later. Some valid points about, hey, when the chips are down, adding flaps, you know, while you're trying to do something may not be second nature. But if the airplane's already got flaps deployed for a maximum performance takeoff, the right answer there is just simply leave them alone. But Rick Marshall's right. You know, it's kind of a lot to ask for somebody to think about putting the flaps in real time in those conditions. So here we are, steady up on a heading 270, 4.5 pressure altitude, 1742, 32, 44 degrees Fahrenheit, 25.5 on board. Fat in the area. Data mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
And getting into our 20 degree climb condition. Trim. And bringing our power up to 20 inches, 21 inches. There's 21 inches. And just climbing up. Take it all the way up into a kind of a stalled condition here. Lots of rudder, engine failure. AOA only recovery. Smoothly rolling to 45 degrees of bank. With a carbureted engine, the other thing to think of is how much negative G we got in there. You put too much negative G and guess what? Engine quits. And now we're in an on-speed condition, which of course is caveman simple to fly. personal favorite, obviously. And there's 210 degrees of turn. So 4,500 feet. Let's check right to heading a 100. We're just in the south end of the restricted area. Life is good. Time now 17:43:35. 43 degrees Fahrenheit, 25.5.
Charlie, I'm going to approach Roger, loud and clear.
Stand by, data mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
All right, steady up 100 now on the heading. Nose is translating up. And power's coming up. There's 20 degrees nose high, 21 inches of power.
121 Papa.
Stall warning.
Altimeter 3007.
Stall warning. Flap 0. Simulated engine failure.
5,500 feet.
1 Papa, Roger.
AOA only recovery. On speed. A little slow tone in there. 210 degrees of turn. Okay. Let's do another one of those.
Charlie, just want to maintain 4,000.
This time we'll actually fly the turn and we'll get ourselves into an intentional accelerated stall. That's another shortcoming. We no longer teach accelerated stalls to private pilots, if I'm reading the ACS right, which is a bit of a bummer because you're definitely, riding the edge and being able to recover from an accelerated stall.
Yeah, I was descending to 4 to try to pick up a little speed. Looks like the headwinds are higher here, so can I go back to, go to 8?
1 Papa Alpha, Roger. Stand by for coordination with Kendall approach.
Thank you.
2 Delta Charlie, turn right 10 degrees.
For about 6,200 feet, we've got field time.
All right, time now 17:45, 17. 43 degrees Fahrenheit, 25.3. Data mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
Power's back, pitch is coming up. There's 20 degrees nose high. Power's coming up to 21 inches. Into the stall. Simulated engine failure. AOA only recovery. Engine just quit, actually. Coming back. There's our 45 degrees. And now, let's pull too hard. And there's our loss of lateral stability. So we're going to have to probably teach an accelerated stall at altitude in the spiral glide just to expose folks to that if they don't have an AOA system in the airplane. I think if you have an AOA system in the airplane, it's probably fine to not worry about that and just make sure that nobody gets close to the edge. All right, we're in an easy hook now to heading at 270. Airborne 4726. Camera 1 is good. Camera 2 is good. Let's do another one of those into the wind. There's our 4,500 feet. Pick up a heading at 280. So, again, that AOA recovery, the engine actually quit. And that's cool because that tells you you're in an unloaded condition. Can't go wrong with that if you don't have a G meter in the airplane. And as long as you don't touch the mixture control, everything restarts all by itself. So let's run another one of those. Time now 17:47:04. 44 degrees Fahrenheit, 25.2, 4.5 pressure altitude, heading 280. Data mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
All right, slowing. And we're getting set up for a simulated climb condition here. All right, nose is coming up to 20 degrees nose high. Clouds are parting. They must have known we were coming. All right, there's 20 degrees nose high. Coming up on 21 inches manifold pressure. 21 inches manifold pressure set. Pretty healthy VVI for a Cessna, but we'll take it. There's our stall warning. Here's our simulated engine failure. Unload. Keeping the engine running this time. Engine's running. There's our 45 degrees of bank. Right back to our FAR 23 stall warning, which is here. Notice how high the nose is. So, as you roll off the perch, the velocity vector drops below the horizon and then comes back up. That's just a characteristic rolling off the perch, just like a 180-degree power-off approach. So let's just do a 180 to show you what I'm talking about here. Come right to heading 100, time now 17:48:25, 44 degrees Fahrenheit, 25.1. We're just going to go up to 4,500 feet to save some time, and this will be just a roll off the perch, you know, like a normal base turn. What we were talking about in the meeting as regards the, you know, 180 power off approach. All right, slowing down. We'll leave this, actually we'll just go to a normal flaps condition for landing. There's a flaps 40 condition, data mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
And I'm going to let the airplane intentionally get slow. So there's stall warning, and as I roll off the perch, velocity vector has to fall. But then, as the airspeed increases and I catch my AOA, notice how it translates back up. Both the velocity vector and pitch. Okay, let's go back up, demonstrate one more of those. And that's the expression I use, rolling off the perch. And of course, that's not a VAC-ism, that's an Air Force-ism. Time now, 17:49:37, 46 degrees Fahrenheit, 25 gallons on board. Climbing back up to 4,500 feet. We're doing all these to the left so you can see how the tough behavior works. Get 50:52 elapsed, still good on the camera. Full lot on a heading of 280. There's our 4,500 feet. So this characteristic where the velocity vector drops and comes back up, that's going to be true for a turn back maneuver, any roll off the perch, anything else. So when we say that our pitch is fairly level throughout the turn, it is fairly level throughout the turn. But it averages fairly level throughout the turn as long as we unload initially. The danger with not unloading initially is to get into a stall condition, okay? I'll work on keeping things a little bit more level. This would be another simulated 180, just roll off the perch in a normal landing condition. Time now 17:50:36, 44 degrees Fahrenheit, 24.9 on board. Down to mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
All right, flaps 20. Trim, trim, trim. Flaps 40 condition. This is an on speed off the perch, a little slow. Need to drop the velocity vector right there. Reduce, capture the AOA. And then back pressure slowly increasing, velocity vector comes back up. That's 180 degrees right there, and there's 210 degrees right there. So that's different than the sustained spirals, where after a while we get into a stable condition. In the real turn back maneuver, you're never truly in a stable condition. That's kind of an important takeaway. All right, let's climb back up. And we'll combine that thought process with our takeoff and departure stall recovery. Steady of 280, time now 17:52:05, 44 degrees Fahrenheit, 24.8 on board. And this time we're going to do the takeoff and departure stall. And I'm going to do this first one flaps 0, and then we'll do one flaps 20. All right, stand by, data mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
All right, slowing. Nose is coming up to 20 degrees nose high. There's 20 degrees nose high. Power's coming up. Get into our simulated climb condition. There it is. Getting close to the stall. Simulated engine failure now. Engine slowing down. Engine caught again. And just catching an on-speed condition. And there's our translation that I'm talking about. All right, now let's do the same thing. Flap 0, but let's catch FAR 23 stall warning. Just hooking, easy right turn. back to heading east. Partial power climb. You can see the RV's still got plenty of smash available at that 115%. I normally only give myself a couple of knots of warning. All right, there's 280. Time now 17. 53, 47. 44 degrees Fahrenheit. 24.7 on board. This will be FAR 23 recovery after the simulated takeoff and departure stall. Data mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
All right, nose is coming up to 20 degrees nose high. There's our 20 degrees, going to our 21 inch condition, 21 inches, rudder, rudder, rudder. All right, and simulated engine failure. This time we're staying on the stall warning. Rolling in on the stall warning. So we get less translation. This is what Dave is talking about. If you can fly closer to the stall, you can actually get better performance out of the airplane. But you better have a really good stall warning indicator to do that. Less aerodynamic margin, and I'll, at some point, plot that out for you. Okay, let's do a couple of those flaps 20. Again, easy right hook, back to 270, there's a 4,500 feet. Flaps 20 condition established. First one will be on speed. Going right to heading at 280. Time now 17:55:19, 43 degrees Fahrenheit, 24.6 on board. Overshot that turn, we'll hold it. 290 on the heading. Data mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
Good data mark. Nose is coming up, flaps 20 condition now. Power still back. There's our 20 degrees nose high. Power's coming up to 21 inches. Stall warning, stall warning, stall warning. God, she's still climbing. I love this little airplane. All right, close to the stall, simulated engine failure. Engine quit, engine relit. On speed condition. On speed. And velocity vector translating back up. And 210 away. Okay, now we'll do the same thing. This time we'll do it with the stall warning. So a little closer to the edge, a little better turn performance, a little less altitude loss in all likelihood. And hooking back now, we're heading at 280, climbing back up. There's our 4,500 feet. 57:40 elapsed. Camera 1 is good, camera 2 is good, boom is good. We'll try to actually roll out on 280 this time. There it is, 280. And standby data mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
Flaps 20 condition at 17:57, 43 degrees Fahrenheit, 24.4. Nose is coming up. 20 degrees nose high, power is coming in. Stall warning, a little more back pressure. Alright, there's our simulated engine failure. Aoa only recovery. Easing it in. Whoops, actually let my back pressure get away from me. Going for the wrong target AOA. And on the stall warning, we're going to do that one again. And 210 away. All right, let's do that one more time. I pooched it up. This time we'll do a easy hook left. Time now 17:57:56, 43 degrees Fahrenheit, 24.4, 4,559 minutes elapsed. Go to a heading of about 290. And steady up 290. Power's coming back. Data mark 3, 2, 1.
Data mark.
Alright. Getting our nose up 20 degrees. Alright, nose is up 20 degrees. Power's coming into 21 inches. Lots of right rudder required. Okay, here's our simulated engine failure. This time we're going to stay on the stall warning. Alright, engine's back up again on the stall warning at 45. Now that's using the ADI. My ADI isn't that accurate, believe it or not, even though it's an EFIS. And on the stall warning. Oh, and see that? We got that little bit of breakdown there, so little accelerated stall, end game. That's the danger of flying that maneuver right in the edge like that. Okay. I think that's enough tape review for one day.